There's a whole bunch of useful stuff that you can easily get at the start of the game without any combat. I could wax poetic about the stuff found in the tree stump in Seydanin, but this video is not about that. Of course, if you're looking for the absolute bare minimum at the start of the game, then obviously the Seydanin trader has something useful for most classes. But if we try to be at least a little bit more fancy, then Revere in Balmora sells a demon tanto and a devil spear for fairly cheap. Without their enchantment, they are okay early weapons, but with them they become part-time Daedric weapons. In Balmora you also have the mages and the fighters guild. If you join them, you basically get a free supply of standard potions of restore magicka and restore health and some other stuff. Whatever character I play, I usually end up taking advantage of those. You can find those supply chests in other guild halls too, except I think there's no supply chest in Caldera Mages Guild. Speaking of Caldera, the merchants there sell a bunch of neat early game enchantments. The Ring of Invisibility, 2 rings with destruction spells, a robe with a restore health spell. There are a few more like that. The Ring of Invisibility came in really handy during my adventures with as seen in this video here. Now, if you talk to the Fighters Guild blacksmith in Balmora, he brags about his Dwemer Jinx Blade, a sword that has a paralyze enchantment. I suppose it's good, but if you're using blunt weapons, you can get a much better deal. An enchanter in the Telvanni Council Hall in Sedrith Mora sells a silver staff of peace for probably less than 100 gold. That same enchanter also sells a bunch of paralyze and invisibility scrolls for fairly cheap. Actually, if you think you're going to fight enemies that might be a bit too much for you, scrolls may be a pretty good way to make up for your character's weakness. And I'm not even talking about expensive scrolls, I'm talking about stuff that you can buy for 100 or 200 gold. It is for that reason that I usually buy at least some summoning and elemental damage scrolls whenever I make a new character. Enchanters sometimes also sell useful armor or weapon pieces, although I am not very impressed by stuff like Spear of Light or Spear of Water Breathing. Who makes a spear with water breathing on strike? Huh? Seems dumb. If you can think of anything similar, please mention it in the comments. I know that there are a bunch of constant effect items, Daedric or glass weapons, and even artifacts that can be found very early on, very easily. But I didn't want to focus this video so much on them. I prefer the cheap, the underrated, and the overlooked. I didn't want to talk about things worth thousands of gold here in this video. And speaking of underrated and overlooked, please see episode 1 of the adventures of Star-sama. Those who have seen it have been very entertained by the video. Thanks for watching.